You looking for a Range Rover Sport by any chance? Come inside. Let's talk about it. What's happening, guys? Ari here from Boston Automotive Consulting. Today, I'm gonna be putting myself in a very, very unique situation, a very hypothetical situation where I am gonna be acting as if I'm buying or leasing a Range Rover Sport, and I'm gonna break down for you how I would approach this whole thing from top to bottom, what numbers I would chase after, and how I would do it. So follow me into the office. Let's talk a little bit more about Range Rover Sports and how we would do this deal exactly. So Range Rover Sports are unique in that there are no hard incentives on the car. They don't offer rebates. They don't offer any sort of lease credits, nothing like that. Maybe if it's an outgoing model year, say it's a leftover or it's a diesel. Besides that, the true desirable ones, such as the one I'm holding in my hands, an 80K Range Rover Sport HSE, they're not gonna give any rebates or incentives on this car. You're working basically from the MSRP and negotiating down. How I would approach this deal, what a boss negotiator would do on this car is pick out a car. I've already picked mine out. It's a Chorus Gray Range Sport HSE. Walk into the dealership, obviously with an appointment, because we don't have any time to waste. Go in there, check out the car, make sure it's everything that you're asking for. If you're gonna be going to the Range Rover dealership, a real boss doesn't go on Friday or Saturday, or he doesn't go on Sunday with his wife. He goes in on like a Tuesday afternoon, sort of like right around traffic time. He usually goes in there with an appointment, and what happens is that over the weekend after they sell, to their main consumer, main weekend customer, they're busy with their deliveries on Mondays, and now they're sort of catching back up on Tuesday, making their follow-up call, trying to close as many deals as they can. You go in on Tuesday, or better yet, go in on Wednesday. So you go in there and, you have an idea in your mind. This car costs $80,000. And typically on a Range Rover, from MSRP, what the full price is, to invoice price, what they own the car for, there's only 5%. And I'm trying to say this without laughing, but 5% is the markup on a Range Rover. What you choose to have them lose on this car, I didn't mean to rhyme, what you choose to have them lose on this car is completely up to you. But 5% off of MSRP is what they own the car for. So let me give you an example of what they own this car for. So an $80,000 Range Rover times 0.95 equals $76,000. They quote unquote own this Range Rover Sport HSE for $76,000. So if I want to get this dealership to lose $3,000 and get them to sell this Range Rover to me for $73,000, it could actually be a situation where they're trying to meet a goal from Range Rover so that they'll do it regardless. However, it's not going to happen just on your first slam. You've got to feel them out. You've got to see. Maybe you want to offer 70K to try and get to 73. You don't start at 73. See what I'm saying? You make your offer and it doesn't happen, but they do counter offer at 75. You give it some consideration. It's not too bad of a deal. If they're losing $1,000, that means they're willing to work with you. The fact that they're losing $1,000 gives you a hint that they might be willing to lose another 1,000 or another 1,000 after that. What do? You put on your jacket and you get the hell out of there. Let me tell you why. Range Rovers don't sell like hotcakes. They really don't. Now, what I want to do is that I want to show you what this $80,000 Range Rover is actually leasing for. Let's do a calculation right now. Let me show you, because I've already shown you what you should be targeting as a sale price for this Range Rover Sport. Let me show you what you should be targeting structured in the same way, however, on a lease. So right here, I've got a 33-month money factor and a residual at 63% if you're leasing for 10,000 miles a year. At 36-month money factor is at 154 and the residual at 59% for 10K. Follow me so far? So if we had that original $80,000 MSRP, we said that they own this car for 76 and we were trying to get them to lose a few thousand and sell it for 73. What does that translate to for a lease payment? So this isn't the most difficult thing in the world if you were to do this all by hand, and there's videos out there that'll teach you how to calculate a lease using the figures that I have up here right now. And for the sake of this video, I'm going to be doing it on my handy dandy lease calculator. And I'm going to start fresh and I'm going to include all the taxes and fees. And for the sake of this lease calculation, I'm going to be using Massachusetts 6.25% tax rate for it. So Range Rover charges for their acquisition fee, which is $895, which I'm plugging in into my calculator, which has all my fees in them. So I've got $895 as the acquisition fee. I've got Massachusetts registration and plates, which is $170. And then my dealership's documentation fee is $599. This is something that I tend to deduct usually down to like $300 in my final counter offer to the dealership, just as a way of saying like you guys are ridiculous. So I have this all done so that I'm paying all these fees and my first payment up front, not capitalized, not zeroed down. So I plug in 80,000 as the MSRP, the selling price as 73,000. Then I plug in my residual at 36 months, which is 59%, and the money factor at 0.00154. Now you've got to remember, this is on 36 months at 10K. It's on a selling price of $73,000. That means the dealership has to lose $3,000 in order to get here. So let's write this all down. Now this is the figure that the dealership may tell you is not doable. It's going to be a bunch of resistance thrown at you saying losing $3,000 is not going to happen, and that might be the point where you might be dealing with a situation where now you've got to play the game of contacting the dealer, contacting another one, and shopping it around. The quote-unquote doable payment, if I were to just adjust this same thing, going from $73,000 up to $76,000, goes to $1,050. Getting somewhere in the middle of these two is awesome. If you get down to $950, even better. If you're at $1,050, you're kind of not doing too much. Now, I want to run the same deal at 33 months so you have an understanding of what that difference is. So if I have a 33-month lease term at 63% residual and there's a slight variation in the money factor, that payment only drops $15. If I were to go and drop it down to that $73,000 selling price, again, the payment only dropped $20. You're going to do all this work and you're going to spend all this money. You may as well get the extra 3 months and do it for 36, because these 33-month lease terms, 30-month lease terms, they don't really make much sense over 15 or 20 bucks. If it had a difference of like $100, I tell you definitely go for it. But typically these 33-month terms don't make much sense at all. And in the greater scheme of things, they're actually designed so that you get into the dealership a little bit quicker and they sell you another Range Rover sooner. So try to stay away from them. So guys, I hope this video helped in your quest to negotiate your best deal on the Range Rover Sport HSE. If it did help, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'd love to reach as many of you as possible. If you're seeing this on Facebook, like it, maybe share it with, maybe that like 1 or 2 keynote friends that are constantly looking at Range Rovers. Give them a little help. Armo mom, something. And if you're seeing this on Instagram, feel free to just double tap the heck out of your screen. Thank you so much for watching, guys. We'll see you next time.